Okay, sorry about that. Well, so I am starting back up again, just to kind of introduce myself. This is Karen, and this is Tinks, and we just finished filming our video for a Skype video for a DC show, and I realized that I've got this webcam, and I everybody's always asking kind of the same questions and wants to know all sorts of things about my little Tinks and what all he has going on, and so I thought that I would just kind of do a couple of little segments here really quick where I've got a list of kind of the questions that our fans have kind of been asking on a regular basis. So this is just kind of a little frequently asked questions segment with Karen and Tinks. And so we kind of left off last time about how he was a Maltipoo, and we were talking about some of the different types of breeds and things like that. And so another question people always want to know is, how old is Tink? So you might be surprised because he does look like a puppy, but this Christmas he'll be 10. He was actually, his birthday is December 23rd. And we got him on Valentine's Day, the 8 weeks later. So he's been with me for a long time, and he actually I say that he chose me. He was so tiny whenever we went to get him. He was so tiny, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's such a small dog. What am I gonna do? And he looked up at me, and he had just had a bath, and so he was still a little cold. No, you don't have to have a bath. So he was still a little cold, and he was kind of like this, and I had him in my arm, and I was in my hand, and he asked me, he looked at me in the eyes, and he asked me to be his mama. Do you remember when you asked me to be your mama? Yes. And so he asked me to be his mama, and so of course at that moment I fell instantly in love with Tinks, and our bond it was, continues to grow stronger every day. And so we actually do, I know some of y'all sometimes are a little bit confused about what we have going on with his daddy, but I know you love your daddy. But we co-parent Tinks together for about the last 2.5, 3 years or so. So it works out. We never even really had a discussion about it whenever we realized that it was time for us to kind of live in separate houses. We just knew that Tinks needed a daddy and a mama, and that we both loved him dearly, and so it wasn't even a question. And so we have co-parented him, and it works out. I work from home, and so I get to keep Tinks here with me during the week, and we get to do stuff. And so usually his daddy will get him for the weekends, so it kind of works out, because then whenever Scott's not working, he gets to spend he's there with him pretty much all the time together. So that works out well. Sometimes we fluctuate. It really hasn't been anything that's been too much of a concern. And so Tinks is always excited to see both of us. Whenever he loves the time that he gets to spend with me, and I know he loves the time that he gets to spend with his daddy. And so he only, every now and again he gets a little bit like, whenever he's excited to see the other one. And so it's wonderful, and we're both glad to get to have Tinks in our lives. So I will wrap up this question there, and then I will pick up in just a second. Thanks.